And you bringing that stuff up as well, it makes me want to see Martin Scorsese watching a movie in one of those new seats that like rocks you around and vibrates and stuff. What's that, like 4DX or something?
Yeah, and it spits at you or something.
Yeah.
I want to see Scorsese forced to watch a Fast and Furious movie in one of them, and we can watch him on YouTube.
That's my only kind of beef. Well, not my beef with what he said, because Martin Scorsese is perfectly entitled to say whatever he wants. But I was just more like, I can't imagine he's watched many of these Marvel movies. I can't imagine he sat down and watched like all 21 of them or whatever. Like,
imagine if he actually has. That'd be hilarious.
So it's just more like if he's just commenting on like the first Avengers, then it's an accurate statement. But if he's going and saying like, oh, there's nothing deep about like, there's no deep socio-political meaning behind like the Winter Soldier. It's like, well, Marty, you've not been paying attention to it too much then, clearly, because particularly for a guy who's so entrenched in like pop culture himself, like. Martin Scorsese's biggest influences were like old like film noirs, which at the time were like, oh, they're kind of lurid pop things, like old westerns, and he's a guy who loves pop music. For him to be so dismissive of pop movies is very uncharacteristic of him, I thought he would be the first one who'd be like, oh no, there's a lot going on in these things. But if he has sat down and watched like literally every one of them, and he's like, I can tell you for a solid gold fact that there is nothing about these that is true to the spirit of cinema, then
Hey,
I'd be
I haven't watched all of them. I don't think he has.
He's like, I saw that Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton, and I was out.
That's the only one I feel like he's probably seen. Because the one thing I know is that he's like a voracious cinephile. I feel like it's more one of those things where he just doesn't like Marvel movies, and he just said it, and he probably didn't really mean it, but that is actually not cinema, but now he has to back it up because everyone's yelling at him. So he's like, yeah, they are. Because I feel my issue with it is that it's like, okay, if Marvel movies aren't cinema, then what else is not cinema? And then it gets really confusing. Like, a rom-com's not cinema, or like bad Netflix horror movies not cinema. Like, what about good crappy horror? I think it's like opening a can of worms. And I'd rather just take his statement at face value of just like, Martin Scorsese doesn't like Marvel, which he shouldn't because he's Martin Scorsese, and I think it'd be really weird if he like rocked up in like an Avengers t-shirt and was crying. It's like, oh, I love you 3000. That would be really weird.
I never expected that. So I didn't imagine he would like these films at all. That's fine.
I don't know why people are surprised. You're like, do you not know who Martin Scorsese is? It would be so weird if he liked them. The world is in balance. The fact that he doesn't like them. This is how it should be.
I kind of want him to go like, oh, but maybe I should go give them another try. And then that is literally what is going to happen now. He'll be showing up at Comic Cons in an Iron Man suit and stuff.
He's like, I really love that Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going for when I made Kundun. They just did it way better than I did.
See, I love David Lynch because if you asked him about Marvel, he'd be like, what?
Yeah.
What's that?
He's probably barely even heard of these characters.
Oh, I don't think he's watched a movie that's been made after 1980. I don't think he could tell you a single film that's been out.
No, he's in his own world, and I love it.
Yeah, I love it. He just doesn't know anything, and it should stay that way. No one should educate David Lynch about the world.
I kind of like to think though, he's like, oh, I watch movies, but like I just have the Hallmark Christmas channel, and I just watch that all the time. Like that's when it's
believable, though. I can believe that.
That would inform so much of like you watch some of the acting in like some of his movies. It's like if he is just going for like Hallmark, this makes total sense now. He's like, that's why he's casting Alicia Witt again. He's just like, I saw her in like 15 Christmas movies over the course of about 2 months, and like, yes, I think this girl she's got what it takes.
Oh, I love him.
I love her. She's amazing.
But anyway, back to Batman Forever. I'm certain Martin Scorsese would have no time for Batman Forever. But